What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. I just recorded this video and my microphone was randomly turned off at some point, so I'm going to redo it real quick. Anyways, I'm doing a new archetype that I have not explored just quite yet on the channel, and that's Orcust. It's been around for a really long time. Obviously, there were a couple hits that people deemed to make the deck unplayable, but I'm going to explore a couple of combos that are absolutely legal. Although it depends on a new card that's coming out, and you'll see in just a moment. This deck reminds me a lot of Infernity, by the way. For those of you guys who are trying to get into the frame of mind of what the heck's going on here, definitely a combo video. You're trying to abuse non-once per turn, so you're constantly special summoning back from the graveyard, and that's why I kind of see it that way. Scrap Recycler essentially acts as like the main Infernity monster, and there's another one that acts as Necromancer. So let's just get right into it. And basically what this card is a 1.5 card combo. Scrapyard. So this card's a non-once per turn, lets you add a scrap tuner from your deck to your hand. And until recently, there were no targets really worth even going into here. But now you can go ahead and add this new card that I'm not sure when's coming out, but I don't think too long from now. And that's Scrap Raptor. What this card does is it lets you to actually target itself. I can target any card, but it can target itself and destroy it. And then you get to add a scrap monster from deck to hand. So that's exactly what you're going to do. But before you actually normal summon that, go ahead and set this extra card, this 0.5 card. It can be any spell or trap, just as long as you have a card on the field that you can destroy. So you're going to go ahead and normal summon the Scrap Recycler, destroy itself, and that's going to trigger to let you add a Scrap Recycler from deck to hand. And this is one of those cards, again, that every time it's normal special summoned, no once per turn clause whatsoever, lets you Foolish Burial a machine monster. So you can go ahead and normal summon that. And also you're wondering, hey, how the heck can you just normal summon that? Well, Scrap Raptor actually has the second effect that you can normal summon in addition to your normal summoner set as long as it's a scrap card. So you can go ahead and Foolish Burial the first one, which is going to be the Crystron Rosenix. For those of you who have been following my kind of ice barrier, this card's also really good in terms of link summoning. What it allows you to do is banish itself from the graveyard to special summon a token. The important part about this token is the fact that it is a machine token. So you can go ahead and banish that, special summon the token, then you can go ahead and link those two off and go into a Scrap Wyvern. So this card says you can target one scrap monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then destroy one card you control. If another face-up scrap monster is destroyed by card effect while you control this monster, except during the damage step, you can special summon one scrap monster from your deck, then destroy one card on the field. So, as you can imagine, what you're going to want to actually do is bring back the Scrap Recycler, destroy it, triggering Scrap Wyvern's own effect, which is what's going to happen here. Destroying the Recycler, then you can special summon from the deck the Necromancer, you could say, but that's Scrap Golem. This is also a soft once per turn. You can target one level 4 lower scrap monster in your graveyard, special summon that target to either player's field, but of course you're going to special summon it to your own. And like I said, you need that extra card for Scrap Wyvern, right? So that card that we set in this case was Scrapyard. You can go ahead and send it to the graveyard off to destruction. Now you can start having this loop start coming out here. So bringing back the Scrap Recycler, triggering its effect once again, and this time you're going to go ahead and Foolish Burial this World Legacy World Wand. This card says you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Orcust monsters, special summon it. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Dark. I'm not going to use that just quite yet, but just keep that in mind. You can go ahead and convert this Scrap Recycler and the Scrap Golem, and go into a Live the World Key Blade Master. That effect will trigger, and this lets you set a World Legacy spell or trap directly from the deck. And what this card does, World Legacy Secession, lets you Monster Reborn a card as long as it can be special summoned to a link zone, which of course you can see here that that zone is available. So you can go ahead and Monster Reborn the Scrap Golem, and since it's a soft once per turn, you can trigger that effect to bring back the Scrap Recycler, Monster Reborning it, triggering the effect of Scrap Recycler, and now you can Foolish Burial once again, and this time you're going to Foolish Burial an Orcust Nightmare. Whatever reason this card cannot be destroyed by a link monster, okay, cool. But the important effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one face-up monster on the field. You cannot special summon monsters except dark monsters for the rest of this turn, but you can also Foolish Burial a Dark Machine monster from deck to the graveyard. Also, that monster targets gains attack equal to the Foolish Burial, which actually is quite important for this combo. But you got to make sure you don't use any of those effects just quite yet, right? Because you don't want to be locked in the dark just now. And since you have these two, there's actually equals 4. Live the World Blade Master, the key World Key Blade Master, and the Scrap Wyvern can be converted into an Appaloosa. And like I just kind of went over that monster gaining effect, and it's really interesting, right? I've never thought about Appaloosa this way. So this card actually obviously gains attack equal to, you know, whatever material, the amount of material it used, but the effect to negate monster effects is totally based on its attack value, meaning if you can boost that attack value, you can use the effect once again. So look at this, what we're going to do. So you can get 2 good effects out of Orcust. You can target the Appaloosa to Foolish Burial, and also it will give it attack equal to this Orcust symbol skeleton. So would you look at that? Now you have a little bit extra attack Appaloosa, either to help, you know, give yourself an extra negate, or just make it harder for someone to get over in the first place. Now you can use the effect of the World Legacy Wand to banish itself to special summon a banished Orcust monster, which is what you're going to do right there. There's no effect on the field, you just need it for link material. So now you can go into Galatea, I think it's called. This card lets you set an Orcust spell or trap directly from the deck, and all you have to do is shuffle a banished card back into it, which helps with your resources, of course. And now you can set the Orchestrated Babel. This lets you activate your Orcust monsters in the graveyard, their effects as quick effects, even during your opponent's turn. Which I guess is what a quick effect is, right? Now you can use the effect of Orcust symbol skeleton. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Orcust monster in your graveyard, special summon it. This is one of the best, obviously, because it's just a free monster reborn. You're going to go ahead and bring back the Orcust Nightmare once again, just to keep having that link material. But before you do that, now you can go into a Dingirsu. So when this card is special summoned, you can either attach a material, attach one of your banished machine monsters to it as material, which is actually quite important. And every time it's special summon, or you can send a card your opponent controls to the graveyard. Since this is a turn 0 combo, of course, you're not going to be using that second effect. But now you can attach to it this Orcust symbol skeleton, which is good for a couple of reasons, right? Because that means you can attach it, detach it during the end phase to put it back into the graveyard for more, use of it. So you can just keep using the effect over and over again, which is really nice. Now you can convert those two meaning the Scrap Recycler and the Orcust Nightmare, into a Predaplant Verde Anaconda, using the effect to send any fusion card from deck to the graveyard, and now you're going to use an instant fusion. And if you can believe it, an instant fusion target is Winda. So basically, I know what you're thinking. Hey man, instant fusion destroys that target at the end of the phase. What's the point of this? Well, it's actually you can actually negate that effect, meaning if you just so happen to have a Dingirsu, which can protect yourself from any card destruction on the field, which is what you're going to do at the end phase, and now you can detach that Orcust symbol skeleton, which is just really, really nice, meaning your graveyard is filled up again. Also, your opponent, can't special summon more than once for that entire turn. So that's really simple. That's literally 1.5 cards, which is really nice. Now I'll take you to combo number 2. Which is all you need is a Scrap Factory and once again a Scrap Yard. So it's kind of like you're getting an extra effect out of it, because what this card says, all scrap monsters on the field gain 200 attack and defense. That is not important. But when a face-up scrap monster in the field is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 scrap monster from your deck. Meaning, if you start the combo the same way, you just happen to get an extra monster out of it, right? Because you can destroy yourself. So what you're going to do is go ahead and activate the Scrap Factory. Now you can activate Scrapyard to add a Scrap Tuner from deck to hand. That's once again going to be Scrap Raptor, which can normal itself, target itself to destroy itself. And that's going to add a Scrap Monster from deck to hand. Also, you can Chain Link and Chain Block, I should say, with Scrap Factory as a Chain Link too, meaning that your Scrap Raptor will combo through, meaning if they have the Ash Blossom, well, you already know the line of play because you just saw it. In any case, if it does go through, you can go ahead and get a Scrap Golem now for later in your turn, basically adding an extra extender. Now you can normal summon the Scrap Recycler, which somehow is normal or special summon. That's just kind of insane. Which is going to Foolish Burial, a machine monster. That once again is going to be Kristan Rosnick's effect to banish itself to special summon a machine token. those two can be converted into the Scrap Wyvern. This is going to look very similar until later in the combo. Scrap Wyvern can bring back one of the scrap cards, destroy it. Although before you do that, since you have not used Scrap Golem just quite yet, you can bring back the Scrap Recycler, use the effect to Foolish Barrel a Dark Machine, and just like last time, the first card you're going to send is the World Legacy World Wand. Effect of Scrap Wyvern to bring back the Scrap Raptor, destroying a machine, which targets that, and now you can special summon another Scrap Golem from the deck. And this is a soft once per turn, meaning since you have a second copy, you can use that effect. And that extra card this time, like the one we set, is now a Scrap Factory. And since we've already used the effect, who cares if it gets destroyed? Using the effect of Scrap Golem, you can bring back the Scrap Recycler, triggering its effect to Foolish Burial the second Orcust card here, or World Legacy, and that's going to be Orcust Nightmare once again. Now you can convert the Scrap Recycler and the Scrap Golem into the World Key Blade Master, using its effect to set a World Legacy spell or trap from the deck, and that's going to be World Legacy Secession once again, activating its effect to bring back the Golem, and the Golem can bring back the Recycler. To Foolish Burial once again. Actually, this time it's not once again. This time it's going to be Girsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. This is a new card. I think it's actually expensive. I don't know if it's ever gotten a reprint, but I'll go ahead and read you the first effect, which is most important. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can send one Orcust or World Legacy card from your deck to your graveyard. The other effects, it kind of makes it a tuner, but for our case, for this combo, that's all you need to know. Now you can convert the Scrap Wyvern and the World Key Blade Master into an Appaloosa. And you can convert the Scrap Recycler and the Scrap Golem into a Predaplant Brood Anaconda. I actually make a misstep here. Just like last time, if you're going to use this effect of the Orcust Nightmare, go ahead and target that Appaloosa. Give yourself a little more attack, right? But it's also ultimately not super duper important. And Orcust Nightmare is going to send an Orcust Symbol Skeleton. That was the same effect as last time. Now you can use the World Legacy Lawn to banish itself to special summon an Orcust from the banish pile. You can convert both of the Orcust Nightmare and the Scrap Golem into a Galatea. Galatea's effect to shuffle one of your banished cards back into the deck and set up your orchestrated Babel to your field, activating the Babel, which will come up during your opponent's turn. Now you can use Simple Skeleton to banish yourself, and this time you're going to special summon a Girsu, the Orcust Mech Knight. His effect to activate to Foolish Burial, once again the Wand. And now you can overlay the Galatea with the Dingirsu. I'm not sure if I mentioned this on the first combo, but what I love about these effects is, first of all, I mentioned it, right? Because when this card is special summoned, it sends a card. So if you're doing this during your opponent's turn, well, you've just used that effect already. And also, it's worth noting that the Link monster, when it's used as Link material, you can shuffle one card on the field into the deck. Two great forms of, the best form of basically getting rid of opponent's cards. No one really, unless you're completely unaffected by card effects, those two effects are going to go through. Now you can use the effect of the Dingirsu to attach the Symbol Skeleton, which you can detach during the end phase. But if you can believe it, on top of everything that Scrap Raptor does, it's also a tuner. And you're only locked into darks, not machines, meaning that you can go into a Borreload Savage Dragon that will attach the Lib, which gives us the most attack. That makes it 4,000. And last but certainly not least, you can go into a Winda. It'll get protected, but now on top of what you had last time, the extender gave you an extra negate, meaning you can probably deal with anything your opponent did. And if your opponent gets rid of the Dingirsu, well then, since you have all these quick effects, Symbol Skeleton in the graveyard can banish itself and special summon it, meaning you send a card to the graveyard. Lots of great disruption. There's a lot more combos when it comes to Orcust. I'm trying to think of Rusty Bardige. I know there's some of those for some Dragoon stuff, so I may explore those tomorrow and give you the full breadth of it. I know there's one card play starters with the Girsu, so we'll go farther into that. I think this is a great introduction for those of you who have no idea what Orcust cards did, like me going into today. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and hopefully my voice came through on this one. But I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful night.